إذ جاءه الخط الأقرب. So in this hadith, in the collection Imam Bukhari narrates to us by Anas ibn Malik, the Prophet ﷺ one day was sitting with some of his companions and sitting on the sand or something where there is a possibility to make marks in the soil or the ground. So he drew a few lines. We don't know exactly how they were drawn, but he drew lines. And he pointed out to the Sahaba and he said, this one is al-amal. And you can translate it as hope. But for the purpose of the context of this hadith, it would be a poor translation. Not really just hope. It's the human being's understanding of his own life. It's the fact that we look at our lives as if we're going to live way longer than we actually do. It's the way our brains are, and we just have that. It's called طول الأمل. We're just always hoping, for the lack of a better word, to live longer and longer. And the human being is capable of doing that. Al-amal, his line, that was the longest line that he drew, this long line. This is amal. He's over here, but this is how far he sees himself. Then he drew these other lines. And he said, وَهَذَا أَجَلُهُ. And this one over here is his ajal, meaning is the timing that he was granted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, فَبَيْنَا هُوَ كَذَلِكَ. As the human being is walking down this line of his life and seeing his amal to be far into the future, just focusing on how long he's going to be here and planning whatever he's going to do in 2027 and talking about his, and just keep on. But فَبَيْنَا هُوَ كَذَلِكَ. As he is trotting down this line, seeing himself being around forever, إِذْ جَاءَهُ الْخَطُّ الْأَقْرَبُ. The closer line cuts him off. The other line comes in and it cuts him off. And whether we like it or not, that's how our lives are. Our lives are just, that's how we are. It's not necessarily a bad thing to plan things out for your future. Make sure that you have a good, solid plan of taking care of yourself and the people that you love. We were told, عِشْ لِدُنْيَاكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَعِيشُ أَبَدًا وَعِشْ لِآخِرَتِكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَمُوتُ غَدًا. You live for dunya as if it's long term, and for akhirah as if it's... But the Prophet ﷺ's problem here, what he's trying to explain to us, what he's trying to make sure we understand, is that if you don't remind yourself of the fact that there's that other line that can come at any point and just cut you off, and just end everything, if you don't know that's a possibility, if you're not aware of that possibility, if you're not contemplating that possibility, if that possibility does not lead to some degree for us to reevaluate, reassess, and make better choices, or at least prepare ourselves somehow, then it's going to be quite disappointing when it does cut us off. Not only to us, but to the people that surround us as well. And I find it fascinating that the Prophet ﷺ, even in a moment of just pure, it wasn't a dars, or else he wouldn't be sitting on sand, ﷺ, drawing things on the soil. He was just spending time with his friends, with his companions, with those who he liked to spend time with. And he would take the opportunity, ﷺ, to remind them, be careful. It's easy to get into that mentality where you see it's never going to end. I have so many years ahead of me. Inshallah, say inshallah. I mean, inshallah, you have many years ahead of you with salihat and with good health, inshallah. But there's that other line. There's that other quicker line. It can just come and cut you off. So make sure you're aware of it. And make sure the awareness that you have of that other line that could come and cut all that off for you puts you in a mentality and in a personal state where you're prepared if it does. I hope that was a benefit to you. يروي الإمام البخاري في صحيحه عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه قال خط رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم في الأرض خطوطا فقال هذا الأمل وهذا أجله فبينا هو كذلك إذ جاءه الخط الأقرب صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم سبحانك بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم وبارك وعظم على نبينا وحبيبنا وقرة أعيننا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. جزاكم الله خير شيخ محمد for